welcome back to the Patriot Hour. I'm Michael, your host. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. All right, folks, I ain't been in the studio in a few days, just taking a few days downtime, kind of looking at lots of different things. I had some other stuff going on, but again, we appreciate it. We're going over tons of different things here, digging in, paying attention, connecting dots, using our discernment, coming up with our best conclusions that we can put together by looking at lots of information. Right, in the intelligence communities, you'll look at lots of different things, and lots of it you have to just be able to chew the meat, spit out the bone. Again, take a look in the description box. We got the links down there to take you to the email if you would like to donate. We got the P.O Box. Again, leave emails. We love the emails. We comments down below after the video. Maybe leave a comment, take a look in the comment section. That gives us ideas for current or future shows. We are going to be doing a live video here today at about 12:30, so just in about an hour, probably less by the time you're watching this. But again, 12 huge bombshells in 1 week last week, all right? But nothing's really happening, people claim, right? Let's take a look at this. We'll jump into this article. Again, if you're new, thanks for stopping by. Make sure you're subscribed. All right, and the live will be on the Patriot Tech, which is our backup channel. Again, link down below. 12 huge bombshells in 1 week, but nothing's happening. 12 huge damning bombshells dropped this week, spinning this storm into high gear. From Lisa Page's transcripts to McCain's connection to the dossier, a grand jury investigation into Facebook, massive NXIVM updates, Jeffrey Epstein back on the chopping block, the Andrew Weissman leaving special counsel, and while AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, was preparing her audition for her role as Congresswoman for New York, Paul Ryan was sabotaging Democratic subpoenas. Meanwhile, Hollywood's being sliced and diced for paying off colleges and Ivy League schools to get their children admitted. Of course, this is only the beginning of investigations into the nefarious actions taking place in the upper echelons of colleges, and it's safe to say politicians will surely make the list. Who could forget the terrorist training camp discovered in New Mexico last year, where they had loads of guns and ammunition, along with a deceased child? The court dismissed 3 of the 5, creating one hell of a stir in this country. Now there is a superseding indictment charging all 5 with conspiracies to attack and kill officers and employees of the United States, along with multiple other charges. While Congressman Jim Jordan was busy calling out Adam Schiff in a Twitter frenzy this week, the Democrats, along with 12 Republicans, voted to block President's emergency at the southern border, which Trump immediately vetoed the following day in his first ever veto as president. But nothing's happening, right? Buckle up. This party is just getting started. 12 huge bombshells. All right, we're going to kind of skim through these. I'll leave this link down below. That way you can read it in full, but there's just too much here, and I got to get ready for the live. But so the number 1 was a NXIVM sex cult superseding indictment and Nancy Salzman plea deal. It was a very telling week in the NXIVM case. For those still not familiar with the case, get familiar with it. There are a lot of top players involved who connect with countless other big league players, and it's all about controlling the system, manipulating and blackmailing high-ranking individuals and corporations, as well as child sex trafficking and female adults being branded after sexual interactions with their harem, the leader, Keith Raniere. So some big updates dropped this week, and Nancy Salzman, NXIVM's president, pleaded guilty to 1 count of racketeering conspiracy after agreeing to a plea deal. The plea deal comes with her corporation with the federal government in this case. She could also be facing up to 41 months in prison. Her sentencing will not take place till July 10th. She admitted in court that she obtained passwords and usernames to monitor NXIVM enemies and members suspected of being moles. So that's pretty interesting. Number 2, Facebook under criminal investigation. A New York grand jury has subpoenaed two well-known smartphone makers for records relating to this investigation. Federal prosecutors are investigating Facebook's data sharing deals with large technology companies. Facebook had data sharing arrangements with more than 150 companies, which benefited both Facebook to gain more users and the companies to gain access to the users' data. Facebook was already being investigated nearly a year ago for the Cambridge Analytica scandal, whereby they obtained personal data of up to 187 million Americans. Unbelievable. It seems the investigations have continued and escalated. Number 3, Congresswoman AOC, a hired actress with socialist handlers. Mr. Reagan published a video on social media breaking down how AOC Cortez was one of the many actresses auditioning for Justice Democrats, an organization that recruits actresses to run for political positions so they can fulfill their agenda. Titled The Real Brains Behind AOC, he reveals that Justice Democrats held auditions in 2017 for potential congressional candidates they wanted to run on their platform. They put out a casting call in 2016, and AOC's brother submitted her for the nomination. Alexandria Rojas, executive director for the Justice Democrats, conveyed that they had received over 10,000 nominations, and out of those, they found Alexandria. They don't even try to hide this. AOC had no political background whatsoever, so who's running the show and pulling the strings for her social media platforms, interviews, and documents being drafted up? AOC is a puppet congresswoman and dangerous handlers, including Saket Charabardi and the mastermind behind it, Sunk Unger. Ooh, this video is packed full of evidence, and anyone who has followed AOC can easily make these connections. Her staff has extremely socialist agenda. Oh, a little Sunk Unger over from the Young Turks. Interesting. Number 4, ex-Lisa Page. FBI Lisa Page is revealing transcripts revealed. The House Judiciary Committee Republicans released a 205-page transcripts from ex-FBI attorney Lisa Page's closed-doors interview last year. Social media platforms quickly propagated with numerous discrepancies between her testimony and others who had testified, throwing timelines into the wind, revealing a text that indicated that there was an insurance policy against the then candidate Donald Trump. Her testimony also indicated the Obama administration's role in letting Hillary off the hook for her alleged handling of misclassified information. We went over this. I covered it in several videos last week. This is one I kind of pounded on the head, that her testimony. Number 5, the late Senator McCain's role in the Spygate scandal. We've heard of this as well from Q back in the day. Now it's just coming back full circle. Future proves the past. But again, yes, we know his connections to releasing that dossier, or somebody in his member, one of his people. So, late Senator McCain's role in the Spygate scandal. Jeff Carlson, a journalist for the Epoch Times, dropped a doozy of a report on Friday regarding David Kramer's unsealed deposition, who is a longtime associate of the late Senator John McCain, a Republican out of Arizona. Kramer had contact with at least 14 members of the media regarding the Steele dossier, unverified allegations against Donald Trump during his campaign. Carlson took to Twitter to lay out the timeline from this report, indicating McCain's ties as well as others. David Kramer provided updates to Fusion GPS co-founder Glenn Simpson, former MI16 spy and dossier author Christopher Steele, and other members of the media regarding McCain's meeting with the FBI director James Comey. Kramer revealed that he had contact with at least 14 members of the media regarding to the Steele dossier. Again, you could read this in full there. So number 6, federal court moves to unseal documents in the Jeffrey Epstein alleged sex trafficking case. On Monday, a federal court of appeals in New York gave multimillionaire Jeff Epstein and his former partner, Ghislaine Maxwell, until March 19th to establish good cause as to why the documents from their prior case should remain sealed. If they fail to do so, the summary judgment and supporting documents will be made public. The court also reversed a ruling on additional documents in civil case, which includes discovery materials. Epstein was accused by more than 30 girls, mostly between the ages of 13 and 16, of being lured to his mansion for sex acts. According to the Miami Herald, court and police records show that then he used those same girls to recruit more girls over a period of several years. So that's going to be interesting. Number 7, Pitbull Andrew Weissman is leaving special counsel. Thursday's big story was that Mueller was wrapping up his report, being as Weissman was stepping down. According to the Sarah Carter report, Weissman was handpicked by Mueller to join the special counsel's office investigation into alleged collusion and obstruction between Russia and Trump's presidential campaign in 2016. For anyone who has heard defense attorney Sidney Powell speak on Weissman's tactics or read her book, License to Lie, exposing corruption in the Department of Justice, it is quite evident that Weissman's needs to be investigated. Powell has stated that Weissman destroyed evidence in Arthur Anderson case. Despite this, Powell won the case against Weissman in the Supreme Court, but only after they had destroyed the company's reputation. So it seems Weissman is a dirty player and has been reported to the Department of Justice Inspector General and Senate Judiciary Committee, as well as reprimanded for withholding evidence in the past years. While on the special counsel for Mueller, he was directly involved in the prosecution of Paul Manafort. Pretty long one there. Number 7. Get down here to number 8. 50 big names charged for or indicted in the college admissions payoff scheme. All right, I covered that one as well. More to come on that for sure, but the story broke on Tuesday last week, with the U.S. Attorney Office in Boston describing it as the largest college admission scam ever prosecuted in this country. This is a $25 million scam that involved actors, actresses, exam administrators, athletic coaches, corporate giants, wealthy connected parents, high-ranking lawyers, real estate moguls, and media company owner, all buying their children's way into colleges. And then we get to other people that don't even have to pay, but they just get it based on the merit of who they are. Like the Clintons, Chelsea, look into her background. Tucker brought that up last week as well. Number 9, Paul Ryan blocked subpoenas of Democrats. On Wednesday, Breitbart News published an article reporting that their executive interview with President Trump in the Oval Office. Trump told Breitbart News that Ryan blocked issuance of subpoenas to people he thinks should have been investigated on the political left. And because Republicans no longer have the majority in the House, Ryan protected people that may have gotten away with whatever they did that warranted investigation. Trump also told Breitbart that he believes the left plays a tougher game, though he thinks that the people on the right are tougher. Number 10, the New Mexico terrorist camp superseding indictment, finally. So here's this camp that was discovered last year. We covered this, and it was pretty crazy. They found like a dead child or something buried, I believe. It was horrible. So most will recall the horrific terrorist training camp discovered last year in New Mexico, where a group resided in a filthy situation filled with firearms, ammunition, and a deceased child. They were originally indicted on September 11th of 18, and 2 judges dismissed charges against 3 of the defendants because the Office of District Attorney Donald Gallegos failed to schedule a court hearing to prove they had probable cause for their arrest within 10 days. Everyone could see with their own eyes that this was a terrorist training camp and feared the worst. Number 11, Jim Jordan grills Adam Schiff in a classic social media style. On Tuesday, in a series of tweets, Congressman Jim Jordan, Republican out of Ohio, fired at Congressman Adam Schiff, Democrat out of California, regarding Schiff and his staff prepping Michael Cohen before his hearing, failing to disclose his meeting with Glenn Simpson in Aspen, falsely claim in his memo that Bruce Ohr hadn't communicated his relationship with Christopher Steele to the FBI prior to the 2016 election, and question why Schiff tried to block Congress from learning that Clinton campaign paid for the dossier. That's quite a list. So he went on a tirade of dropping these questions, and it's pretty crazy. So number 12, Democrats and 12 Republicans voted to block the border emergency, and then Trump vetoed it. On Thursday, Democrats and a dozen Republican senators blocked President Trump's declaration of an emergency at the southern border. The 12 Republican defectors were Lamar Alexander, Roy Blunt, Susan Collins, Mike Lee, Jerry Moran, Lisa Murkowski, Rand Paul, Rob Portman, Mitt Romney, Marco Rubio, Pat Toomey, Roger Wicker. Immediately following the vote, President Trump tweeted, "I look forward to vetoing the just-passed Democratic-inspired resolution, which would open borders while increasing crime, drugs, and trafficking in our country. I thank all of the strong Republicans who voted to support border security and our desperately needed wall." By late afternoon Friday, President Trump vetoed it and signed an executive order on taking additional steps to address a national emergency with respect to significant transnational criminal organizations. Update: this critical news hit late Friday after the article is already written, therefore is being included as number 13. Former Defense Intelligence Officer pleads guilty to spying for China. Former Defense Intelligence Agency DIA operative Ron Rockwell Hansen pleaded guilty on Friday, March 15th, 2019 in the District of Utah. Huber, in connection with his attempted transmission of national defense information to the People's Republic of China. Hansen, retired from U.S. Army as a warrant officer with a background in signals intelligence and human intelligence. DIA hired Hansen as a civilian intelligence case officer in 2006. He held a top secret clearance for many years. Hansen is fluent in Mandarin, Chinese, and Russian. And in early 2014, agents of the Chinese intelligence service targeted Hansen for recruitment, and he began meeting with them regularly in China. Hansen began providing information to them in exchange for $800,000 over the course of 4 years, between May 24th of 16 and June 2nd of 18. He solicited from an intelligence case officer working for the DIA National Defense information that Hansen knew the Chinese intelligence service would find valuable. Hansen advised the case officer how to record and transmit classified information without detection, and how to hide and launder funds received. The DIA case officer reported Hansen conduct and become a confidential source for the FBI. So on June 2nd, Hansen received the solicited documents containing national defense information from the case officer. The classified information contained documents related to the United States military readiness in a particular region. Hansen took notes, put some of it to memory, and concealed notes about the material in the text of an electronic document he was planning to prepare at the airport before heading to China. He knew the information he planned on turning over to Chinese intelligence was to be used to the injury of the United States. So Hansen, 58, of Syracuse, Utah, pleaded guilty to one count of attempting to deliver national defense information to an aid of a foreign government. The plea agreement has agreed upon to the sentence of 15 years, and the sentencing is set for September 24th. Utah U.S. Attorney for John Huber said China demonstrated its reach, even right here in Utah. So, geesh, what a China connection there. This week's manipulation tactics in the news. All right, not going to read any more. Again, I'll leave this page, and you guys can come check this out in full. I just thought that was interesting. Again, look forward to our live video coming up here. It's something we're going to have Ben and Woodman in for some great discussion. And hopefully you guys can join us over there. If not, catch it later on. We'll put it back. I'll be putting that onto the Patriot Hour later on this evening. It'll be on the Patriot Tech for the live recorded, brought back over for you guys to enjoy over here later this evening. And I'll be bringing you more videos throughout the day. We got some Q to go over in the next update video I do, so we'll get over those. Again, I'm Mike. This is a Patriot Hour. God bless, Godspeed to each and every one of you. And we'll see you back here real soon on the next Patriot Hour update.